Hey guys, this is Jason Metzger with PHT-TV. I'm here today with Jim Hunter, the curator and historian of the museum here in Hope, Arkansas. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what we're doing here today.
Well, I started working for Paul Klipsch in 1978. He had a collection of artifacts, and he wanted to know if I would help maintain it. And so, as he would say, that was like waving a bull in front of a red flag.
And obviously, we are not in front of the museum at the moment. We are in front of City Hall.
Paul W. Klipsch Auditorium is upstairs. And this building was built in 1926, and in the mid-90s, it was rechristened the Paul Klipsch Auditorium.
All right, so this is the first of many stops we're going to go through today. We are going to go to the museum itself. We're going to take you through to the Education Center and to the visitor centers. So let's get started.
It was in the 90s that they added the elevator, renovated, the building, and called it the Paul Klipsch Auditorium. The lady is Belle Klipsch. This theater was used for anything a theater was used for: plays, school events, pageants, but it was never a movie theater, and someday we have dreams of making it into a movie theater. Elvis in the 50s played here, but Elvis was all over this area of the country. Paul Klipsch went into the recording studio to do one of the Klipsch tapes as Elvis was leaving. The La Scalas were used at our only event so far. There was a sing-along last Christmas, and those two La Scalas and the subwoofer lit this room up. The Klipsch horns up there, we have made false corners that weigh more than the Klipsch horns. We hope to do listening events here and actually be able to compare the different speakers, in this auditorium. We're at the Klipsch Museum of Audio History. Curator of the museum has been on my jobs description since 1979. The building behind me was a munitions proving ground telephone exchange building during World War II. And after the war, Paul Klipsch bought the building and it became our first factory from 1948 to 1952. This first room is dedicated to the people that came before Paul. Paul was always very respectful of the people that came ahead of him and never claimed to have invented everything. So this room covers a lot of the pre-Klipsch history. Now this room was Paul's listening room and recording studio, and this is the bulk of the Klipsch Museum artifacts. It does include the very first Klipsch horn. This prototype was built during World War II in Paul's officers' quarters in his spare time after giving 80 to 90 hours a week to Uncle Sam. The Klipsch horn was designed to be a compact loudspeaker, and this is a mid-30s movie theater speaker that was the design target of the Klipsch horn, make a small version. And so the Klipsch horn is vastly smaller than this, actually does about twice as much. It was not the first corner horn. These are corner horns. The one on the right predates the Klipsch horn by a decade, is English. The one on the left is a 1960s pretty speaker, but not functioning very well. This building cost $49,000 in 1941, which would be $800,000 today. This is our Wall of Fame. These plaques represent the people that really got the museum started. They made very large donations to become life members of the museum. 4,000 photos, 10,000 slides, hundreds of thousands of pages of Paul's records. This museum has gone nonprofit. It is not a part of the Klipsch Speaker Company, but we have a very solid relationship with them. We're at the Paul Klipsch Education Center, located at the Hope Airport, which was the World War II proving ground airport. During World War II, this airport had the third longest runway in the United States. Today, it really only sees a few private planes a day at the most. Our building is actually the steam generating plant that generated the steam that heated the airport, as well as the Army Air Corps barracks and various other buildings here on site. We acquired this building from the city. The city owns the entire airport. We got the building basically for a song, and this has become not only our education center, but it houses Paul Klipsch's library of technical journals. We have over 6,000 volumes here. Library of Congress can probably beat us, but that's probably about it. Right now, due to COVID, there's no education going on, and the building, I have to apologize, it's somewhat a warehouse for us at this point. What you see down each side are the library holdings. These are journals from the American Institute of Electrical Engineers, the IRE, the IEEE, the Journal of the Acoustical Society of America, everything electronic and acoustic that you could imagine. He got it, and it goes back to the early 20s. And the speakers up here are mid-1980s Klipsch KP600 system. It was basically an array system before arrays were popular. When I was testing these speakers, after we put them up, I knocked 2 plaques off of the wall back here. Now this television that you're looking at, below it is the Shorthorn Model T, the world's first video monitor, designed to put a TV on top of and put it in your corner. And the picture, Paul Klipsch is demonstrating 3-channel stereo setups to the local TV personality Haskell Jones. The most impressive piece in here is the 450-pound woofer, built in 1939 for the New York World's Fair, where they used 2 of them mounted on a horn and had 4 of these monstrous horns for a 4-channel stereo demonstration to an audience of 100,000 people. This is the only one in existence.
What happened to the other ones?
There were only 12 built, and several of them were sent to France to blast propaganda across German lines.
Did Germany then destroy them?
They probably did not come home. And this bandsaw was one of Paul's first woodworking tools. It was in the tin shed as early as 1946. So you have a back view of our property on the right and the Clinton Visitor Center on the left. For events, socializing, the house is going to be our main entertainment center. And the field house was built in 1921, going to be our visitor center. It's over 4,500 square feet on 3 floors. The building in the back, the little yellow building in the back, is the carriage house. That will be our food and beverage operation. This is the field house. This is the living room, which will be our main visitor center. We'll probably have videos going in here, some amount of audio, reception desk, and then behind me in what used to be the library, that will most likely be our sales operation, gift store. You'll see all of these floors are oak, and when they built the house, they immediately put carpet on them. So these floors are almost virgin oak floors. The 3rd floor originally was used as a radio repair area for the owner. And several of us would like to see antique radio repair shop installed up there. Colors that you see in here are period colors from the 1920s. Coffered ceiling. The next room over is the dining room. More period colors. That mural is actually a wallpaper type mural, And I believe it was not put up in the beginning, but put up in the 50s. Personally, I love the push-button light switches. The pantry will probably house a lot of electronics for us. And then in here, this is what was referred to as the den. This room will probably end up being one of the period listening rooms.
What would be your preference if you were going to put anything in this room? What would you put in it, audio listening wise?
I would probably put something late 50s, early 60s, because that's when this room was remodeled. You know, the knotty pine paneling is, you know, it screams late 50s. You know, we have yet to rip up the carpet on the stairs, but every indication is that the stairs are going to be magnificent. When we pull the carpet off of them, they're going to look good.
Yeah.
The downstairs is the only area that we've been renovating. This house is going to take years and hundreds of thousands of dollars to do it right. So we are hoping to have a soft opening by summer of next year. Not sure exactly what all we'll have here, but at least enough chairs and tables to have a party.
All right, guys, thanks for joining us. I hope you learned as much as I did today. It was very informative. Thank you so much, Jim, for giving us this tour. In order to get more information on when everything is opening back up and when you can come out and visit yourself, be sure to check out
klipschmuseum.org and our Facebook page.
Yeah, make sure you like and subscribe to that Facebook page for more updates. Thank you again, and we will see you again next week. All right, and that'll give you updates on when everything is opening back up again, so you can come out here. So you can come out. I should have expected that.
Two more. You might be good.
All right, we'll see.